Hey there, this is Jen. This is the week of, oh my goodness, I barely even know what it is. It is the 8th of August. Crazy to believe it's already gone that fast. And here is just another awesome garden tour. So here is some stuff that's gone to seed that I've been kind of lazy and haven't done anything with. The beans have finally popped up. They are just right there. It's been a crazy week. It really has. I wanted to do a tour last week, but it just didn't happen. Walk you around the garden and tell you my crazy story. So things have just exploded in the garden this week. This right here is a green zebra tomato. Can I remember the other varieties? No, but there's something, and I'm sure I'll remember them later. These are all some tomatoes I actually bought from Layer Farms because I wasn't sure if any of mine were going to do anything. So down here I do have a pumpkin though. These are sugar pie pumpkins. I'm really excited to make some pie with them later. Right. These pumpkins have gone crazy. You will see on the other side, they are just insane. And I finally, this cucumber right here, I picked one cucumber when I got home. It's a Be It Alpha cucumber. And my sunflowers bloomed and are kind of sad now. So over here, I planted something. I'm saying these two back here are melons of some sort. And I think that these three, that one, and that one are all some sort of cucumber. I have no idea. My dahlia is doing really well. The chives are going crazy. So this pumpkin that you saw on the other side has climbed all the way through here and is already setting little pumpkins over here, which are, I'm not going to complain about that. It's just crazy. I'm okay with the craziness. I've got some buckwheat growing down over here. Just get around this trellis. All sorts of awesomeness going on. Then over here, I've got some beans that have popped up just along down there. Some buckwheat going to seed. Buckwheat's really good for pollinators. It's a great cover crop, so I may or may not cut it. We'll see. Then I actually have cabbages. I am so excited. I have cabbages. Look down here. This guy's doing really well. And then this one too. So this garden bed kind of only gets like early morning sun. It doesn't get sun all day. So I think my brassicas are actually doing well now that they're not dealing with as much pressure from the flea beetles. My comfrey's going crazy. The beets are just nuts. And seriously, I didn't plant any of these beets. Then I've got some kale, some lettuce that went to seed. I don't remember what that is. I want to say it's kale. It's Premier Kale that I got from M.I. Gardner. Then over here, oregano's going crazy down there. That's my jalapeno that I said, I barely just planted and it was next to nothing. It's already setting fruits. That is a teddy bear sunflower that's kind of crazy. This guy right here, oh, I was looking, I just have flowers. That and the one, I've actually have 3 total. That one, this guy right here, and then all the way down there. Those are salt and pepper cucumbers. We'll see how they do. And then I've got okra planted here as well. And what's interesting, since I went out to Baker Creek last week, is, their okra is like 5 feet tall. Mine is only going to get maybe 3 feet tall, which is just kind of normal in my climates. Peppers are doing well. Okay, so this tomato has taken over everything. I had to put up like this little piece of fencing just to keep it kind of contained. This is a Roselle tomato. I mean, seriously though, this thing is like, it comes up to my forehead when I stand next to it. It's crazy huge. I just absolutely love it though. More stuff just growing. Okay, so my crazy story. So I had to leave town suddenly. Unfortunately, my next door neighbors daughter ended up passing away suddenly. She got really sick. It went downhill really fast. So the garden kind of got neglected. My husband did, you know, the best he could. He said, I didn't kill any chickens and I didn't kill your garden. So I'm just going to take a second and tell you guys what happened last week. So it was really crazy. My next door neighbor's daughter got really, really sick. Nothing could really be done, unfortunately. So she passed away July 31st. And my neighbor she doesn't really have a lot of family that's around. So I said, when are we leaving? So her daughter lived out in Illinois. So we drove all the way out to Illinois. It was a really crazy road trip. Her daughter would have absolutely loved it. So we drove out there. It was my neighbor and I and one of her friends and her friend's daughter, who has now become like my new best friend since we took this crazy road trip. So it took 2 days to get out to Metropolis, Illinois. It's the home of Superman. It's definitely a very small town. It was fun to go out there though and see somewhere different, kind of get a break from Colorado and what I thought would have been the smoke, but not at all. So we drove out there, and on the way, I mean, we stopped one night because my neighbor didn't want to drive all the way through. So we stopped and then we got out there the second day. And then after that, we had to get things in order. So we did that and figured out the funeral and everything like that, all of the stressful stuff. And the next day she kind of needed time alone, which totally makes sense. I mean, I don't blame her. So she wanted time alone, and we ended up actually, myself and her friend and her friend's daughter went out to the Mammoth Caves. Oh, now there's a train. Trains are super loud around here. Is what it is. So we went out to the Mammoth Caves National Park, which we couldn't get in there. We got into Diamond Caverns, and it was really fun. I've been out to Mammoth Caves before, and I loved it. So we just took a break and kind of got away and went out there. It was super fun to go do. And then we came back, and the funeral was Wednesday night. So we went and did the funeral. And then after that, we left the next day. And on our way home, we got to stop at Baker Creek, which was, I mean, anyone that gardens knows it's absolutely amazing. So it was my Disneyland. It was phenomenal. The people out there are so nice. It wasn't crowded at all. We did actually end up taking the back road in because apparently Google Maps doesn't like giving you actual directions to the easy way. No, it sends you on some back dirt road, which was hilarious. So we went there though. I only got to spend 2 hours. It was amazing. And then we drove all the way back to Denver. So it was a really long trip, but I'm very happy that we went all the way out there. So since that happened, my husband did the best job ever of keeping, you know, most of my plants alive and the chickens alive, and most importantly, the children alive. So that was definitely good. All right, back to the garden. Okay, so right here I have some calendula. I will look up the kind, I think it's called like pot calendula or something. Very pretty. It's really, really pretty. And then as you can see right here, my fennel's going to seed, which I'm fine with because I'm okay with fennel being everywhere. And then over here, got some squash, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce what they're called. They are these. So I got these last year, I think. They were on clearance from Botanical Interest. I was super excited. So that's how those are doing so far. And I've got 2 plants in this bed. Obviously, some scarlet kale. But this guy is flowering as well. And if you look really closely, like right there, I've got some beets that are popping up. And along there, I've got some beans. Do you remember what kind I planted? No. All right, back over here. So these cucumbers got crazy. These are my mini white cucumbers. They're only supposed to be, I mean, that big. And they got probably doubled in size. They were absolutely nuts. Then this dahlia is ready to pop. So hopefully the next video it should open. So these, I did remember what they were called, and then I totally forgot. Oh, they are indigo sun golds. So if you look, they start out like really purple with cream on the bottom. When they get ripe, they turn like orangey red, and they are so good. I ate quite a few of those. And then I have more over here. They are, I mean, they're crazy. They're going up and above my trellises. So, they're nuts. Do you remember what this one is? No. I will definitely look later. It's really pretty though. All right, and then I have seen a lot of people asking questions. So like, see how the leaves are curling on here? The mosquito was trying to bite me. So that's actually, oops, not as big of a problem as everybody thinks it is. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes. Okay. You know, tomatoes sometimes are just super dramatic and get kind of whiny. That's really all it is. I don't have any issues with production, and the plant itself is not like damaged in any way. It's just, you know, melodramatic. So it is what it is. I mean, even if you look right down in there, that little bit of yellowing on that plant, it's the only one. I may trim it off if I get around to it, but we will see. And then this is a volunteer tomato plant. This guy right here, it is crazy. It is all mixed up in there. Based off of what I grew last year, I'm gonna say it's a spoon tomato, because if you look, like, oops, I'm gonna just break things apparently. But if you look, like, these leaves are really teeny tiny, and so are the little clusters. My spoon tomatoes grew like that last year, but they are just fine. Got my borage just going nuts. And then this is my other mini white cucumber. It is absolutely insane. Oh yeah, here. So I do actually have one cucumber over here. That was way bigger. This one just got more round than anything. But as you can see, they kind of like turn white and yellow. It's just overripe. I'll end up feeding that to my chickens, and the chickens are loving it. So what I wanted to show you guys, get down in here. These are more of those Lucid Gem tomatoes, so they are doing really, really well. They are crazy. And I've got another one I'll show you as well. Over here, I've got, out in this front bed, I have some milkweed that just volunteered. So I'm letting it grow because I like monarch butterflies. And then these are my crazy sunflowers. Nothing happened to them. They just one day started growing bent over. So, I mean, it's blooming. It's really pretty. And underneath it is actually kind of more green. So I'm just letting it green up the grass a bit. Then these 4 plants right here, we actually, they're lilacs. We took them off this huge lilac plant. They're super happy. Then over here, I had to come around the back way because, well, first off, as you can see, this Armenian cucumber is crazy. But what I'm really excited for is right here, I actually have a cucumber. And it's very big. So I'm really excited about that. Can't wait to try those. I mean, I've got lots of them on here. It's just kind of crazy. This plant has taken over like most of this. So once you get to about here, this is a different plant. But like this is all, I mean, all of that is one plant. And then this is all a separate plant. They're crazy. And then I've got a lot of tomatoes right down here that are looking really good. Looks like this one has blossom end rot. It's usually just a calcium deficiency. This one will go to my chickens, but I'll end up feeding the plant some fertilizer, and it'll all even out. Not that worried about it. All right, time to go through the jungle. But I'm serious, as you can see, this thing's going nuts. Okay. So, my cucamelons are crazy. They are up, I mean, right here. And the cattle panel, I mean, ends, you know, right here. So they have exploded. There's lots of blossoms. I've got lots of little ones. Like here, that guy right there. They're nuts. And then that down there is bee balm. And then I've got some noodle beans along this trellis that are finally about to reach it. This dahlia is going to bloom any day. Really excited about that guy. As you can see, that tomato plant back there has some blight. I'm going to let it do what it's going to do, but ultimately I'll pull it and trash it because I don't want that in my soil. It happens. Not here to show everyone just the pretty stuff about gardening because my garden's definitely out of control. Can't remember what these tomatoes are, but look at that. It's so pretty. And then bring it over here. These noodle beans, I mean, are literally just about to touch it, so they're doing great. Then these are blonde bell peppers, I think. What are they? Yeah, they're blonde bell. They were some Bonnie plants I found, and anything that has the name blonde on it, I usually want to buy because I am blonde. So there you go. Then over here, this is one of those Lucid Gem tomatoes. I actually need to pull it. It looks like it might start cracking soon. Okay. Over here, got the potatoes, some lettuce going to seed, some bindweed, because ultimately that stuff never ends. None of the beans I planted over here came up. It's okay, I'll just plant peas. Over here, I've got, this is a blueberry tomato plant. So look at those. Look how pretty they are. I love them. They're my son Jack's favorite. And then over here, I have a couple beans that popped up, but I've got these squash that are looking amazing. So they're just going crazy. My lawn's kind of sort of greening up. And then I've got some other stuff over here. Some daylilies into the backyard. My roses that I need to deadhead, but they're actually happy. They have new growth. If you look at them, all of like this color, this red, it's all brand new growth. So it's just fine. These tomatoes are doing pretty well. I mean, all things considered, since they weren't watered a ton. When I got back, I actually picked a handful of strawberries out of here, which was delicious. So that's fun. And then over here, oh my goodness, these are my favorites. These roses are so pretty. They're just amazing. And they smell fantastic. They're going crazy. And then over here, my Lady Godiva squash. I just noticed this as I was walking in here. Got a little guy there. It was funny. My husband, when he was mowing the lawn, he had to move all of the vines out of the way because they were so crazy. And while I was gone, he actually fertilized the back lawn, so it's super green. I know not everybody likes having a back lawn. I do. I love walking around outside, when you can just be barefoot. And we don't treat it with a bunch of nasty chemicals. We found an organic fertilizer that's made for Colorado that works out really well. So it has cleared up most of our terrible spots. Okay, my phone's gonna die, so let's just hurry this tour up. Tomatoes down here. They are secret sauce tomatoes. Ooh, actually, I think I've got a red one down here. These were another Bonnie pick. Oh, yep, here we go. They are secret sauce tomatoes. I'm so excited to try these. Everything's going nuts though. My dahlias are starting to bloom. You can see one right down here. And my zinnias. Everything is crazy, including the weeds. I'll get to them eventually. Lots of random tomato plants that I don't remember. This guy right here is another Roselle tomato, so like that crazy one in the front yard. Oh, I have this one dahlia though. So pretty. Can't really get down into it. Have lots of zephyr squash. I like zephyr squash. They're fun looking. If you can tell, the tips of them are green. Grew them at the community garden once, and somebody's like, "Oh my goodness, what's wrong with your squash?" And I was like, "No, they're fine." Too funny. More tomatoes. Do you remember what type they are? No, I want to say they're at Brad's Atomic Grape, but I could be totally wrong. And then these are that guy. That's a Thelma Sanders sweet potato squash. I'm really excited to try those. They're a winter squash, if I remember correctly. And then over here, pulled out, it was like a bush that was growing there. I just pulled it out. I didn't like it. And then on my honeysuckle, okay, I've got these, some berries. I didn't know they made berries. Don't know what to do with them. Don't know if they're edible. We'll just find out. And these are my volunteer 4 o'clocks. They're so pretty. They're salmon and pink, and it even looks electric. It's crazy. And down here, I've got some beans, some dragon tongue beans that I need to pick. And come down here. It's all just going crazy. Looks phenomenal. So we'll come down here. It's a mess. These things happen. My green stock's doing really well. I've got lots of beans, peppers producing. So you can see I have a ton of peppers here too. This petunia is crazy, you know. And then down here, move my chimes out of the way. Ooh, got cucumbers. This thing has been super prolific. And then down here, I've got some sun gold tomatoes. As you can see, I'll have more in a couple of days. They're so good. So yeah, I think that about wraps up the tour today. Like I said, the rest is like all of these weeds just came up out of nowhere. Get to them later. All right, have a great rest of your day, guys. I'm out. Bye.